Guys, this is such an important message. I've given it a different spin than anything you'll be used to. Why does most people's mindset defeat them? Why are most people's mindset keeping them broke? This is so important. Enjoy. So the kind of mind that keeps the majority of people broke, and why people are broke. Your mind is like, somebody once said, your mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. The problem is there's an entire part of our life where we did not have a choice to open it, and it was open to every single suggestion. And it happens when we're between the ages of sort of 0, like in the womb, to like 6, 7, before all your major hormones form and you form your mindset, your reasoning, your frontal cortex develops. Babies are perfect subconscious. That's why my children, I never had to teach them numbers or words. I didn't have to teach them. Their minds are perfect subconscious. All the while they were just looking around the room, listening and hearing sounds and all this stuff. They are absorbing the environment. They are perfect intelligence, because once that frontal cortex develops, picture it like a funnel. And the way we receive information when we're babies is we receive it from the wide end of the funnel. Well, the older we get, that funnel narrows into a smaller view of life. That smaller view of life is your conscious mind. Now what you learn to do when you get older is, instead of receiving information through this wide end, you receive information through the small end of the funnel. And whatever suits your paradigm is what you receive. So you had this entire period of your life where your environment framed the way you think. So let's look at it. Why are most people poor? Well, most people didn't grow up in wealth, so it's not normal to them. What did they grow up in? Mom counting coins, maybe a broken family, maybe mom saying, look, that's how they live over there. We don't live like that. Mom voted a certain way that supported socialist, communist views that said the rich are evil, take from the rich, give to the poor. Rich people are all thieves and robbers and liars. And you heard mom talking at the TV saying, shut up to this rich person, be quiet. You don't know what you're talking about. And you heard politicians say, we're here for the little people, and you put yourself in the bracket of the little people, and you did not have a choice of how to think. You just received by osmosis everything your parents taught you. You didn't have a choice on that program, on that university, on that school. So your first teacher is environment. Your first teacher is your environment. Think about this. Young Moses from Tutu tribe, say, in Nairobi, Kenya, grew up in sort of a grassroots village, native type. And you ask him what's his goal. One day I will hunt the great lion, and I will be the chief of my township, and everybody will come and pay homage, and I will marry 10 wives. That's his dream. Warren Buffett's son, what's your dream? I'm going to build skyscrapers all over city of New York, London, Tokyo. I'm going to run Fortune 500 companies, be on Time magazine. I'm going to employ 1,000 people and take them to the top. Who has the bigger dream? Well, it's obvious that Warren Buffett's son, or Trump's son, or whatever, has the bigger dream. It's obvious. But what's the dream big according to? It's relative to the environment they were brought up in. And so your environment frames your life, it frames your dream. You'll be shocked how much your external universe creates your internal universe. And we live out of that internal universe, how our world has imposed itself on our imagination and defined the limits of what we believe is possible. So some kid in Dubai, their first car is going to be a G-Wagon. And that to them it's a good start. But some kid in Essex, in Southend, his first car is going to be a Peugeot 206. He's going to kit it out, and he's going to open up that spoiler. So he's going to open up that gas cylinder, so it goes boom. when it makes noise, when it goes down the road, he's going to put a spoiler on it and everything. To him, he's dreamed really big. But to this guy, he's seen his dad with a 20-car garage. It's got Bugattis, it's got Ferraris, it's got classical cars. So to him, wealth is a normal point of view. And where did it all come from? Environment is the corporate of mindset. It's what we should hold responsible for the way we think. And unfortunately, again, we had those years where we were the victim of whatever was around us at the time, and we absorbed like a sponge. We were not selective. That's why parents have a big deal to pay, because our parents were our first mentors of our subconscious mind. They have the greatest level of entrustment because they have the right to sign the blank check called the subconscious. And if they put on that blank check called the subconscious $1,500 a month, that's all will live once the mind sets. That's the problem. At first it's this gooey, sort of amoebic-like, formless, and it's able to be shaped. But once that clay pot sets, it's very hard to mold it again. Very difficult to mold it again, because now you're set in a certain way of thinking, and if somebody else comes and says, hey, you can do this, this, and this, you're like, nope. You'll even fight them. You'll even attack them. You'll say, you don't understand my poverty, you don't understand my depression, you don't understand what I'm going through, because somebody's put inside of you at a time you were subconscious a way of thinking and believing. And this is why the greatest teacher was the example that the people left us. Some of your parents were actually your worst mentors. But because you love them, you received all the information from them. And so what do you have to do? Well, you have to change your environment. You have to change. You have to shock yourself by immersing yourself in a completely new environment, completely new. You have to go to the places that stretch the way you currently think. That's why Robert Kiyosaki's book is so powerful. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He grew up in an environment with a poor dad, who's his real dad. He adopts a new dad who's his rich dad, and he figures out his rich dad thinks completely different from his poor dad, completely different. He immerses himself in the environment of his rich dad, even at a point in the book, fights his rich dad, and his rich dad has to tell him, look, why are you talking? You want the life I have. So what are we talking about here? He says, well, that's not what I learned. That's not what I know. Well, how is what you've learned and known, how does it work for you? There are different rules of engagement that you've got to now relearn at this level. That's why you literally got to be born again. I'm sorry. You got to become you got to be a child again, be moldable again, and immerse yourself in a completely new environment. You got to pay for your environment. You got to move to your environment. You may even have to move house just to be in your environment, because your environment is so important, because your environment dictates what you become. And that is why majority of people's mindset defeats them, because their mindset was informed by the wrong environment. Guys, thank you so much for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, why don't you go ahead and click that like and subscribe button and share. Rumor has it those who do the combination of all end up becoming like crazy rich. I know I heard it, but that's what I heard. So we have a Black Friday sale coming up on the 25th of November. This is that chance for an early Christmas present. Nobody wants socks and underwear, so please stop, guys. We want that NFT, the gift that keeps on giving. So this is a great chance for you to give that Christmas present to somebody you love and care about, and make sure that they got that asset that will pay them for life. Guys, I hope you go ahead and join us on that meeting. Cancel whatever you got going on. See you at the top.